Nice, let's jump into the game. And you could actually see the lovely face of my co-caster.
Yeah, I get a great camera. That was at home, and my one camera has a really strange lighting. And we're playing Druid versus Druid. I don't know why I didn't start with Miracle, but I felt like going for the Druid matchup.
And you still say that you're not wearing lipstick there.
No, I'm saying I'm not wearing lipstick there. That's always that's the camera.
That's obviously a lie, because you told me whenever you're home. Well, let's change the topic.
Yeah, I painted a beard. That's the truth. Okay, that's a really good hand for Nexus. I mean, he has already the Ragnaros, which is going to come extremely late as mine. The advantage here is double Innervate and the coin plus the White Gross. So this is a really nice start. The coin, Azudrake next turn for Pony is like super good.
Wow, you're just going to predict that out of the blue?
I'm going to predict that out of the blue. It's like obviously going to happen. The hand from Nexus is really late gamey. Yep. But from turn 5 on, it's just crazy. Like Druid of the Claw, Sunwalker, Ancient of Lore, Ragnaros, Faceless Manipulator, Ragnaros. The only advantage is for me is I got already the Innervate. I got now an Azudrake out, and he has no turn 4 play at the moment.
Yeah, and you have the Innervate for the Ragnaros.
Yeah. So his only turn 4 play is Sun Fury Protector, Marker of the Wild. That would be what he can do turn 4. Which would be actually funny, but he's just dropping his minion. Yeah.
Armor's up.
So there could be the Druid of the Claw next turn, or even the I don't even know what I played after this. So there could be the Druid of the Claw, Yeti, even. Yeti Innervate Harvest Golem is a funny thing to do, just to get a really big board.
A really big board is always great against another Druid, but I think the turn 6 Ragnaros can just seal the deal immediately.
Yeah. I think the turn.
I think Yeti is the correct play here.
The main problem is if you go for the Ragnaros, like the Innervate Ragnaros, and there's a big game hunter, then it feels like sad. Like this, you can deal with everything. So he plays his Druid of the Claw. Well, you can just trade in 2 of your minions and drop even more minions, or just play 1 Force of Nature to clear what he drops. That was a good redraw. So if we see an Ancient Watcher plus a Mark of the Wild, that's a nice one. Or would you go for the Druid of the Claw taunt up?
Druid of the Claw taunt up, or potentially... Yeah, I think that's the only play that really makes sense.
The good thing is with the Druid
Ancient Watcher.
If they play the Ancient Watcher, the Druid of the Claw can get charged up. The Ancient Watcher can just be that 6-7 on the board.
Let's see. Do you get a Black Knight? No, but Selnos. Are you immediately gonna drop the Selnos, because that's what you always do?
Just drop the Selnos. Don't even consider doing anything else. I mean, there are 2 options. You could just go for the Force of Nature and trade in your Harvest Golem, which is okay. Or you charge in a Druid of the Claw, which is not okay.
No.
You can also attack with the Azudrake, just hero ability up, and attack with your Harvest Golem.
I think trade Harvest Golem and...
Force of Nature?
Yeah. That would have been the play.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me.
Obviously not.
Keeping the Force of Nature for the Roar later on might be greedy. And now you give away...
Dropping the Selnus.
Yeah, absolutely. In this situation, you gotta drop the Selnus. The thing is, you're getting board advantage. If there's a swipe, well, then you're wrecked. Then you just lost everything from this point on.
You lost the entire board. But you still have board control then. Because he can't play anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. So you could follow up with a Druid of the Claw. I think last turn, the Innervate play wasn't the optimum. So there we might have just gone for the Azudrake and then Innervate Ragnaros, as you said. As we know for Nexus, his hand is not optimal against this.
No, Sunwalker is basically like useless, more or less.
He plays Sunwalker and you run in your Selnus
for
a card draw.
Card draw!
Or you top deck a swipe and then you just finish off with this swipe. There are like several options for you. If he had a swipe, that was its total wrong play here. It was risky, as you say, but this time I played actually risky, and you every time say I'm not playing risky at all.
You went full YOLO mode. Let's see if it pays off or not.
And there's an Ancient of Lore, so first of all, that's good. Now you can also go for the Force of Nature again, or first draw your card.
Come on, you're wearing lipstick.
No, I'm not. Still not.
Then you kiss the clown.
I cannot disagree with that.
So yeah.
You could have attacked with your Yeti and heal your Yeti too. So that was like one opportunity.
No, I like the Ancient play to get more options. I mean, you had plenty of options, but still, it's good.
But again, the same situation. If he has a swipe, he just wrecks the board. Still, Nexus is having big creatures as me. We both don't have any spells like Ras or something. Just trying to get some board control here.
What? That's a sleepy druid.
That's just everything stopped for Nexus.
Now I think it's okay the way you played it, because he would have swiped earlier if he had a swipe, so it would have only be a top deck swipe.
Absolutely, and now you can now there might be the time for Ragnaros. I think the main problem is with playing Ragnaros now, you don't have an option to clear it. So that's why I would never play Ragnaros in this situation. You play it, he facelesses it and plays his own big game hunter, or his Ragnaros hits your Ragnaros, and then you're actually screwed, since, yeah, how are you going to kill it? That's why I dislike the Ragnaros play in this situation. And you can just go with your 2 damage, drop the Yeti, attack, and you get a huge board again. If there's a swipe, yeah, well, then your 5/5 dies again. But as you said, it has to be a top deck swipe in this situation.
You're dropping kinda low HP. Like, I mean, you go down to 19 effectively, if I'm correct. Oh, no, you don't. Ah, you played the Keeper, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you might consider going for the 2 damage.
I think this is better. You get a 2/4, 4/5, and even if your 5/1 dies to Ras now, it's still a good thing. And if he clears with his hero ability, he drops actually lower than you. Well, he drops on 22. Nice follow-up for him with his Sunfury Protector. I think it's a bit risky, though. He needs to do it if there would be a Force of Nature Roar with those minions on the board, instant win. So he needs to taunt up. But Black Knight top deck would wreck everything now. That would just be like GG. Would feel so good.
That would be unfair.
That would be unfair.
You don't get it.
Agent of Lore. Now we could consider dropping Ragnaros again. Same story like the whole game. If you attack and hero power up, you're vulnerable to swipe.
I don't think playing Ragnaros is the smartest decision.
We can just Force of Nature, clear everything, and drop your Harvest Golem additionally.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Or you go for Mokadra with the Ancient of Lore. If you draw a Ras, then you can trade with your Yeti. But if you don't get a Ras, that wasn't so optimum.
Well, you have to at least, like, if you go for the card draw, you have to play the Ancient of Lore first. Nope. You decide to opt for the Force of Nature and take 4 more damage.
Yeah, like this, your Yeti stats absolutely healthy and you're not so swipe vulnerable. So you get a 4/5 and a 2/2 on the board. If there would be a swipe, both survive. So he would need to attack again and drop by 4. So he's down to 15. Yeah, since he armors up. Always need to count -1 against the Druid. Spellbreaker. Well,
that one's useless.
At least he can draw some cards. I mean, both don't have the perfect draws. There's the first swipe, and Sylvanas. But he used 1 Mark of the Wild, if I'm not mistaken. In those Druid decks, there's only 1 Mark of the Wild. And 2 Sunfury Protectors are gone, if I'm correct. If he has no Defender of Argus, there's nothing left to actually go ham on his minion.
Ooh, double taunt. Yeah, that's painful.
You got the Druid of the Claw Brothers, like beside your...
Yeah. They're building a wall. Protect the Yeti. Protect the Keeper.
I think the Yeti needs no protection. Everyone is protecting the Keeper.
Even though it's the Keeper's job.
To get protected? Or to protect everyone?
To keep the forest safe.
Yeah, well, he has his brothers there to help. What we have here for Nexus, well, he can play the YOLO rack, but that's not really cool. We have the swipe option in this case. He could just copy, swipe, trade.
Yep.
1. The coolest thing is you can swipe to the left and trade the right one, since it drops down to 5. Which is what I like about this move. Still, there's the 3 minions on the board. You can swipe there, so you get rid of 2. 4/5, 4/4 on the board.
Get a Mark of the Wild. That one is useful.
10/10 Ragnaros incoming.
Nope. Definitely not.
Well, you can play two options. You just go for Ragnaros and Mark of the Wild, and hope for it to hit the. You can bring him to 1 HP with like this.
Yes, you could.
And I think I like that a lot. Or you just go Mark of the Wild, hero ability, and play the Ancient of Lore. You cannot play the Ancient, or you just play the Ancient of Lore now. I think I went for the Zudrake in the end.
Yeah, but you should have played it earlier. for the card draw, because then maybe you would have gotten a breath.
The super swipe. Or you can draw a card with white girls also in the end, but then you should have gone for it first still. There's that one keeper. And awesome board. 4-5, 6-2, 4-4. And if there's one problem for a druid, then there is like this. A lot of big minions you cannot get rid of.
Looks like you're actually winning your match.
At
least the first round.
In a druid versus druid, it all comes down to who gets the board control early on and who keeps it. If there would have been a swipe in the mid game, I think the game would be completely different.
You played super risky, but in the end it paid off.
No, I think in a druid versus druid it's okay. If you don't play super risky, you end up behind. Oh, that Raz is super good. He can draw a card with it. And maybe get another Raz, for example.
That would be value.
Yeah, another Raz just killed the 4-4. That was just crazy. Like this, it's actually GG already with the 2 minions on the board. Well, not. He armors up. So now you need at least to play the Keeper or the Ragnaros. Well, even a swipe. So even one swipe is there.
That's BM. The way you killed him.
No, that was absolutely correctly played. You could have swiped the Zudrake also.
You had so many options.
Yeah, there
were
some
options.
options.
The Keeper.
So it's going to be one as a standard version.
I think I might even consider going Miracle Rogue.
Since there were no many taunters. Like
yeah, what did I see? 2 Druids of the Claw and 1 Mark of the Wild.
No, did I? Yeah, one Mark of the Wild. Yeah, correct. This is like the double fun, double roar with Argent Commander standard version, not even Ancient of Wars. So it would be cool to go Miracle. He goes Handlock, and well, Handlock is pretty awesome still against the Druid. If you don't get your, how is it called, Big Game Hunter, then from turn 4 on, you're like...
You're in big trouble, because, Druid doesn't really have the means to kill the Mountain Giants.
But there is White Rose already, plus Innervate and Coin, so you can just go turn 4, Coin Druid of the Claw, turn 5, Innervate Ancient of Lore, which is pretty cool.
But yeah, you're up against Mountain Giants. So 1, 2. Yeah.
So actually, turn 4, you should Coin, Innervate, Ancient of Lore to get a Keeper to get a...
Well, you have a Faceless, so that's rather that's a perfect draw.
I think the play that happened here was just Coin Innervate the Ancient of Lore, just hope and beg for a Big Game Hunter.
Or a Keeper against the Twilight Drakes, because you didn't know what's coming at you.
Absolutely. So that was like the main problem. You don't have a Big Game Hunter, you don't have a Silencer, and then against a Handlock, which just pulls out that cool...
Well, even if you copy it, he's got a Big Game Hunter. That's hilarious.
That's like the biggest problem. You're happy. You're like, okay, there's a giant. I got a Big Game Hunter.
Copy it.
I get the Faceless. I'm just gonna copy it, and then everything is fine. And he just goes for the Big Game Hunter.
He just screams, "Nope, you're not Pony." Coming for you.
Or just drop the Blood Mage Salnis for the card draw.
That's like classic Pony style.
Well, the good thing is, if you kill it now yourself, you deny him the option of Faceless manipulating it.
Yeah.
As we know, there's a second one. And now it can still happen. Oh, he actually did a slight misplay. He didn't live tap.
Yeah, he could have played it for one less and then get another card.
So just copy it. Obvious decision. Get your Mountain Giant.
Big Game Hunter value.
And not only that.
What? This guy has 4 giants on his hand turn 6.
Nexus crazy one. He has double Molten Giant also, and just Big Game Hunters away that one giant. And the annoying thing is you already take the 8 damage. If he's actually not leaving the Selnus alive, but he might fear the Swipe Ras play. Well, that poor Selnus got crushed.
You can still go for the Swipe Ras play.
Yeah, sure, you can still go for it, but the
Big Game Hunter would survive in that case.
Absolutely.
So, Mats, what are you going to do now?
Card draw and back for your Big Game Hunter still.
Whoa, you got it. But
I think
you will take 8 damage.
Yeah, but what else could you have done? So just go for a Yeti. Well, then it's just there. Taunt up something that will just get Siphon Sold probably. So they're like...
Could have considered killing the Big Game Hunter with the Keeper. But then there's the Twilight risks. But yeah.
And still Soulfire plus... Shadow Bolt, just clear away your Keeper of the Grove. Like this, you kill 1 minion. There is 12 damage on the board at the moment, but you have a Big Game Hunter in your hand, and the good thing is, look at your mana. You're at 8, and he's at 7, so you can drop Big Game Hunter plus a Druid, and you're actually good. You get 4/6 and a 4/2 on the board. Well, Siphon Soul, Rex.
Siphon Soul is super strong.
Leroy, double Soulfire, and the Hellfire. I call that way too much damage. Is that already? No, I want to say, was it already?
No, but
No.
it's close to lethal.
Next turn, it's just enough damage to wreck the face here. If there ain't another Taunter. So if you want to stay alive here against Leroy, Soulfire, Hellfire, which is 17 damage in total, there needs to be another bear form. The main problem is just we see the second Siphon Soul for Nexus here.
It's gonna hurt, dude.
Yeah, Nexus can just easy mode eat that one up and kill next turn.
Well, if he doesn't lose his Soulfire... Oh.
Twilight Drake.
Well, it's still Siphon Soul.
I would go for the Siphon Soul in this situation.
30 HP. There's... Wait. He... No, he can't lose, right?
He can, yeah, even
Force
if
of Nature, double Roar. That's 22 damage, I think, with 8 from the Yeti.
Well, that would be 30.
Yeah, but he's up to 30 with Siphon Soul.
Yeah, so you could kill him with Force of Nature double roar. You just counted up to 30.
Yeah, exactly.
So the possibility would be there.
You almost had lethal.
As we see, we don't have one of those cards we would need for this
we would need 4.
particular thing. Yeah, Ragnaros I think is the correct play here, but as we see, just getting wrecked. Well, if the one Soulfire discards the other Soulfire, you're not going to die.
Nope.
You're absolutely going to survive. But as we see, there's a Mortal Coil also, so we're going to see Leroy. He could even draw a card with a Mortal Coil.
I would draw a card. Well, no, I wouldn't.
So that's the first 6 damage. And then...
Hellfire.
I think you should Hellfire first.
Yeah.
Since if your Soulfire discards your Hellfire, you're screwed. So that's a Molten Giant. Still, now you need a Hellfire. It would be, now it's just GG, and the Handlock dominates over the Druid. This is what you always need to fear if you face a Handlock. That stupid Leroy double Soulfire plus the Hellfire.
Well, that's so much damage. I mean, he could have went for the big
Shaman. I think Shaman is one of the best picks against Handlock, but I dearly prefer to have my Executes, Shield Slams, and everything.
Yeah, you're a warrior soul.
Oh, that starting hand sucks hardcore against a Handlock.
It's not the best, but his starting hand is not the greatest either. And you got the coin, which is a small advantage.
I think it's a great advantage against a Handlock. Yes, he's at 4 mana before you're there, like standard 4 mana. The good thing is he cannot coin Twilight Drake or play his Earthen Ring Farseer on turn 3 to burn some armor of you. So that's like there's a giant already.
Oh.
Super annoying, especially there is the shield slam, but you need to get up to 8 until then.
It's not that easy. You need a shield block, but you got the coin, so you might be able to do so.
Now, if he's gonna draw another giant, the main problem is this is okay, one giant, but as soon as there's another Twilight Drake or a giant,
you're screwed.
Yeah, then especially if he goes Mountain Giant plus his Soulfire in your face. Nice. You see that rather often, people actually going for that play. Since they just play their Giant, and then they burn your armor. And even with a shield block, you need an Execute, and if you don't have an Execute, you're screwed.
Well, you got the Black Knight, which is nice, because he is a Defender of Argus and a Sunfury Protector. So you might be able to get a lot of value. And
Molten Giant lost. This is so annoying for Nexus. Well, now extremely screwed. So, yes.
You need to top deck, get Execute. No, you don't. Okay. Well, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the end, I would say. When you start taking 8 damage and you're not able to armor up, which is just the greatest problem you have here. So you got the 2 armor, you got a shield slam in your hand, but you ain't able to use it. The greatest advantage was just, he didn't get a Molten Giant or a Twilight Drake, so he lost even one.
Yeah, lost 1 giant, but the good thing is, he used the Earthen Ring Farseer to heal it up, so make it Execute proof, and you get the best top deck ever.
Top deck value! Here, just
Big Game Hunter.
This is where you need to get the only card. Well, let's say Big Game Hunter, 2 Executes, 1 shield block would have been good in this situation too. Still, the Big Game Hunter was rather cool.
He could consider going double Mortal Coil to draw at least 1 card. I mean, there are no 1 mana, like 1 health minions in the warrior deck, so why not?
Well, the only thing where you could keep the model coins for would be Hellfire into the Armor Smiths and then model coin them. But with this minion on the board and with no giants in your reach or Twilight Drakes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were so important to get the Twilight Drake.
Interesting that he chose to play the Sunfury Protector right now. Like, well, I don't get the reason.
Well, at least you get a target now for the Black Knight.
Yeah, exactly. It's good for you, but I don't see why he did it.
I think he just wants to get more minions out to not let me armor up. So I play the Fiery War Axe and I play a Cochran Elite, and then I can just armor up without him burning any of my armor. So that might have been the consideration why to do this.
Siphon Soul.
Would you Siphon Soul or attack Hellfire? Since we're at turn 7, turn 8, there could be Geddon, Ragnaros. So you don't want to use your Siphon Soul by now, I think.
Twilight is also an option. I think Twilight is even the best option. Because you don't run silences, do you?
Hey, you don't know that I don't run silences.
Well,
I run executes. And they are extremely useful against that Twilight Drake here.
Especially with the Cult Taskmaster.
Yeah, with everything. There's also the...
Shield Slam, Whirlwind.
The most important part in this play is you can go for a Grimash Coin Whirlwind next turn. And look at, that's 10 damage. He's on 20, and you got Grimash Coin Whirlwind. So in theory, you have 20 damage next turn already to win the game. If everything stays alive. That's not a given. If he double Hellfires, everything is dead. So that's a possible play for him. I mean, how do you want to clear it else? You could also go for Big Game Hunter. Well, now you can go for Leroy Shadowflame. That was a perfect top deck, actually, for Nexus. Wow. Nothing else would have helped him so much here. Like, the double Hellfire is okay, but you drop on 12. With Leroy Shadowflame, you lose nothing. You deal 6 damage, and you lose nothing.
And regain control.
Especially if there's next turn, for example, you play Ragnaros, deal 8 damage, yeah, it gets Big Game Huntered, or Siphon Soul.
Is he actually...
No. What are you considering?
Well, it's unfortunate for him that he lost the Molten Giant. Else, there was the option to maybe go for a double Hellfire.
Yeah, in that situation, double Hellfire would have been a cool one. Still, it wouldn't have been enough down. So it would cost him 8 mana, and he only drops on 12th.
Yeah, he couldn't play the Molten Giant immediately.
But still, yeah, it would be close to Molten Giant. Like this, he clears the entire board, and you're screwed. I mean, yeah, there is the Gorehowl or Fiery War Axe plus the Wild Pyromancer.
I think Fiery War Axe and then start smacking his face.
Yeah, you could have gone for the Gorehowl. The main problem is if you just show him your Gorehowl, and he knows, like, okay, it's turn 9, turn 10, there's going to be Grimash Whirlwind, he's just going to stop life tapping. Like this, he might consider, okay, let's life tap once more, why not? Or play a Hellfire.
Ouch.
And then he's down to 14. You're like 1 damage away from winning this game. This is like extremely close.
You look super bored.
Focused is the word. The word is focused. No, would you now it ain't possible anymore to bring him down to 1.
Oh, nice. Cleave comes in handy.
Are you yelling Cleave hype value? Slamming your fists on the ground.
Are you actually gonna win the game with the coin for additional swag points?
I would actually go for Cleave, Whirlwind, Attack, Coin, Gorehowl. Since you know he ain't able to play... Well, he might have another Molten Giant, but he just dropped the Taunter. You haven't seen Argus's, but you know that's his second Sunfury Protector, so there might be an Argus in his hand, but he needs another Molten Giant. That Molten Giant is gone. If he top decks a Mountain now, it will be really expensive, so he cannot taunt it up. The only thing that's really good for him is a Twilight Drake. So I rather clear the board, keep him on 14, and you drop your own Gorehowl. And now, next turn, that's enough damage to win. That's 17 damage. And the only thing he can do is play Jiraxis. He cannot play Jiraxis, but he can taunt up now.
Twilight and taunt.
Damn you, everything. Especially, you need to consider there's still 7 damage in his hand, and you're down to 12.
Yeah.
So this is good. This is possible hurt. Top deck shield block.
Play it. If you get another one.
And there are 2 options I considered here. You can just...
You could
brawl.
Brawl, yeah.
And
if it doesn't work, you go for Whirlwind and attack.
Yeah, for example, and then you can still shield block.
Yeah.
So you brawl, whirlwind attack, still shield block.
And coin armor up, maybe even.
Yeah, you're just like, if it works, it's okay. If it ain't working, since if you shield block and armor up, you can only deal 7 damage. You would need to whirlwind, and then you're not able to whirlwind up your Grimage.
Yep.
Like this, you're able to shield slam up your Grimage to win the game.
You could also shield slam your Grimage.
And now another whirlwind. So
Oh,
now
okay,
it's rather easy. I would coin and armor up.
Yeah.
And next turn you can Grimage, whirlwind, and shield slam something. So even if there is a taunter, you're good.
So yeah, he's most likely gonna play Jiraxxus, hit your face, and then you're gonna finish.
Yep. That was a good one.
Called it!
In the end, Grimage wins the game. He has still 7 damage in his hand. He even has the Jiraxxus plus Soulfire play if he wants to do it. That ain't gonna save him. It's enough damage. I mean, obviously you should have Grimage by now. Or even with what was the Ragnaros you wouldn't win if he plays Jiraxxus. That's sad.
Oh, with Ragnaros you wouldn't win.
Yeah, 1 damage
exactly.
short. Well, then you will win a turn later, maybe. But then he starts Jiraxxusing you with all his small minions.
Well,
So
he could have Siphon Sold.
he could have Siphon Sold his small minions to heal himself up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
or your Ragnaros.
Yeah, that would
Then.
be crazy. So in the end, just Grimage whirlwind win the game here. GG, Control Red does it once again. Like,
Once again, like,
it's not doing it often, but once again it does it and win here